Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Gary's Podcast. This is our 15th episode, and we're coming to inside LAist Radio, and it's beautiful campus of Pasadena City College, and it's beautiful Wednesday day in LA. And today we have a jam-packed show on my pod, with we got two guests for the first time. Yes, two from the price of one, and as well I'll be joined by my beautiful co-host Michelle. Michelle, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, David. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. And today, and as I just mentioned, I got two guests. To my left, his name is Ben. He's a true Canadian. And to my right is my friend and my classmate Eric. Guys, welcome to Gary's Podcast.
Thanks for having us. I know we were both half price.
Oh my God, I can read this book to a Conor Bryan podcast. Anywho, so. We get start with you, Ben, first. Today we get to talk about your Canadian story and PCC. So, Ben, are you ready for everyone to hear your Canadian story?
Never, but let's do it.
All right. So, Ben, my first question is, tell us about your Canadian story, especially born, raised, and how and why you decided to leave Canada for America.
Well, I was actually born here in Pasadena, but then at a really young age, I wound up moving out to Quebec because both my parents are from Quebec. And I lived there for a long time, came out here for some school, went back there for university. COVID rolled around, dropped out, came back out here, and decided, I'll take a class. And then it's now, and I'm in the TVR program in the radio side of things.
I was going to ask you if you were doing something within radio, because you obviously have
the face for it. Yeah.
The face and the voice. And Quebec. I'm bad at geography. Where's Quebec? Is that directly north of us?
No, that's you're thinking BC. That's the nice side of Canada. Quebec is the far east side. It's French Canada. A lot of fields. It's basically stale New York. And I really hope no French Canadians are hearing me right now, because they will kill me. But it was, that's basically the spark notes of my entire life story. So, what specifically do you want to know about?
Do Canadians have accents? No, what's a Canadian accent?
I mean, I have a little bit of one. Like, you might hear about sometimes.
About, kind of.
You shut up. You shut your mouth right now. But one thing you should know as well, Quebec is mean Canada. So I 100% will attack anybody that verbally assault anybody that even slightly insults Quebec. Only I get to insult Quebec.
Noted.
But it's like, yeah, that's right. But it's I completely forgot the question. That's embarrassing, because I was so intent on threatening all of you to I just completely brushed past the question. But you said, where's Canada, or where's Quebec? Yeah, east side. It's it's pretty far north. It's north of the Great Lakes.
Were you in one of the bigger cities, or?
I was actually in one of the biggest cities in Sherbrooke, so of 1 million people, called Sherbrooke. Yeah. A lot of my family lives in Montreal, some in Quebec City, but I was living primarily in Sherbrooke.
Toronto, is that in Quebec?
That's in Ontario. That's our next door neighbor. We hate them.
I was thinking about a few years ago. I've been wanting to, but I was planning on taking a trip to Toronto. That was during COVID, but they had a lot of restrictions. I forgot what dumb restrictions they had, just like everywhere else did. But I remember Toronto having all this dumb restrictions when COVID was around, and I was so excited to go, and I never got to go because of COVID.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. If, in all seriousness, if there's one place that you're going to want to visit in Canada, it's probably Toronto, followed by Montreal.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up between the two, depending on what time of year and how much you hate driving.
Yeah. What about Vancouver?
Vancouver's also really nice. Yeah. That's like the classic kind of Canadian experience city.
Yeah.
Toronto is where all of the culture, good and bad, is. Montreal has the runoff culture,
Yeah.
and also the French culture,
Yeah.
which is always fun.
During our little summer break, I'm going to Portland, and I'm doing
Which one?
Huh?
There's like 6 different Portlands, dude.
Oregon.
Oh, yeah, America's 3rd favorite Portland.
And then I'm going to Washington, and I was like, oh, well, since I'm going to be in Washington too, I'm going to do this little trip. Let me take another little drive to Vancouver since it's only like a couple of hours away.
Yeah.
Long story short, I'm not going. But I was thinking about making a Vancouver trip this summer, but the next time.
Yeah. As soon as you get the chance, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice up there.
Then maybe I can come back with an accent.
Yeah,
Boots.
maybe.
Boots.
Yeah, maybe you can, bud. I don't really. I can't really say anything about. Can't really say anything about that. But I feel weirdly intense eye contact from behind.
Mr.
my head.
West.
When was the last time you visited your family in Canada?
Oh, that was a couple of years ago. I was visiting my uncle and his family, since I'm technically what's the term for your cousin had a kid? A cousin once, twice removed, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm one of those now, and I could not be more proud or less proud. I don't even know. I do not know that child. He can't talk yet. I just know he has a fat head, just like me.
Runs in the family.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Polish side. Man, I need to stop with the nationality jokes. This is going on radio.
All right.
But yeah. Anyway.
Thank you, Ben. All right, now it's your turn, Eric.
All right, what's up, David?
Now your first topic is psychic discomfort, and your first question is what psychic discomfort means to you.
Seeking discomfort, what it means to me. Just within the term itself, just seeking discomfort and getting out of your comfort zone, doing what you dislike, doing what you hate, doing what you're scared of. But for me, what it's been for me, it's seeking discomfort can be different for everybody. But for me, it's always been doing what I'm scared of, and as well as just doing what I normally believe I cannot achieve. A lot of times, like with some of the stuff I've done, I've normally done it because I initially have the thought that I can do this thing,
Right.
For whatever reason. And for me, I'm seeking discomfort and trying that thing out and trying to battle those beliefs of not thinking I can do it and then just doing it. So really just seeking discomfort is having that mental battle with yourself and just, conquering it and just doing things.
Right.
But yeah.
What was something you did that made you uncomfortable?
For me, the first thing I did, I've done a few things out of the years, but I remember probably the biggest example will probably was joining the Marines. That'd be the biggest example I can use. I know this is something that we're planning on talking about. I don't know at what point, but just leaving home, not knowing what the outcome was going to be. Some people when they're who join the military and they're all patriotic and they're just they're not scared of anything, whatever. They just want to just go and do it. For me, I was kind of scared going in for a few reasons, and I was like, you know what, as far as my life goes, so I can just do something with myself. I was like, okay, I just gotta do it. I'm trying to pursue something, but a lot of the battles I was having was oh, but what's gonna happen? What about me leaving my family? And
Right.
what if what if nothing good comes from it?
How much am I going to have to swim?
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff, but I just decided to just do it because my future was on the line, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna seek discomfort, and I'm gonna just do it, and then I'll answer these questions and later.
Right.
But for now, just jump in the water and swim.
Yes. All right.
Well said.
Yeah, well said. Now, Ben, I'm going to ask you, Is the Toronto Maple Leafs your favorite hockey team?
I despise them. And the Toronto teams. This is going to be very controversial, but
Oh, boy.
I don't.
Say it.
Go ahead, say it, man.
I don't like hockey.
You don't like hockey?
Is hockey a
Why?
Canadian thing?
Yeah, hockey is the Canadian thing.
Is
Like
it?
that's like hockey and lacrosse. That's it. That's all. That's
Lacrosse.
all we have up there.
And also the Toronto Raptors.
Toronto Raptors. I don't know them.
That's
all that much.
basketball
Toronto
team,
is
NBA.
Yes.
Yeah. The NBA. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't exist at all.
Oh, my God.
But
And Silver,
it's-
don't watch. The commissioner NBA.
Look, I don't do sport. I only do combatives. That's it. I don't do any ball sports.
You watch MMA?
Yeah, MMA,
UFC.
UFC.
UFC, WWE. No, just that counts. I hope.
Yeah, it counts.
But I used to do a lot of sports, but I've never been much for watching them. My headphones are falling off. There we go. Crisis averted. But yeah, I did quite a few sports. Never watched them. Actually, come to think of it, mainly the only sports I did were like martial arts based.
And
Well, like what? What?
Like I did Shotokan karate as well as some kung fu, a little bit of Krav Maga as well.
I can never when Krav Maga comes up in conversations, I can never describe what it is. What is Krav Maga like?
Krav Maga is basically an amalgamation of different techniques that are pretty quick to learn but effective for use on, I don't want to say non-trained targets, but like on targets that don't know what they're dealing with. Like it's very quick ways to incapacitate specific targets, whether there's a lot of stuff involving like, oh, disarm this guy with the gun, but no, you never know. You never want to do that. Just put your hands up. But with it's a very quick system to learn.
So martial
That's
arts
the-
and like real life situations.
Yeah. It's
in some way.
basically martial arts for modern day, like armed, modern day close quarters, armed combat, almost. Or armed, yeah. I have two right here. And that was a really lame joke. I'm sorry you had to have that on your pod. That was a
It's
lot
alright.
funnier in my head.
All right, Michelle.
Yep.
What you got, Michelle?
What you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna stick to the martial arts. Would you still go back to it now or no?
Well, the thing is,
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, I could do the drunken master style for a while, but I quit that a while ago. But I haven't practiced so much anymore because there aren't many good like places to practice in Pasadena and in LA in general. It's hard.
Right.
It's really hard to find a reputable place that isn't like a McDojo or just a place that's like, all right, here's how to fight a baseball bat. They try to block it with their arm. It's like, all right, your arm is broken in 6 places now. But yeah, as soon as I find a place that, actually teaches real stuff, then I'll probably lose like 40 pounds and go.
I went to about a month ago. I took my first jiu-jitsu class in Duarte. Is that how you say it? The city, Duarte.
I've never been
David,
there.
you're almost a local. But I took a class there, and I got all excited at first. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go take my first self-defense class, outside of the military. And I did it, and I was super excited. And then after doing it, I was like, yeah, never again.
After getting flipped by
at least not jiu-jitsu,
three 6-year-olds.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing boxing, but after doing jiu-jitsu, I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm not trying to get my bones broken.
It's brutal practicing that. I've known so many people that just their joints are just gone because of it.
It's a fun discipline, and it's cool to learn. Whenever I watch it, I'll be on my phone scrolling, I'll be watching a match. It's like, oh, this looks really fun, but doing it, it's I didn't realize how like hard it would be and how tired you would get doing it. Like the first
Right.
20, 30 seconds, like I'm already
Wow.
like gassed out, and then like this 10-year-old that I'm wrestling in is like
10-year-old with a mustache and a black belt.
All right. So, Eric, now your second question is, how did you learn and adapt for seeking discomfort?
how to learn and adapt
Yes.
to it. I wouldn't say like I necessarily like. I mean, I'm still learning now. For like some of the things I've done, like I'm able to kind of like take one experience and maybe apply it to the next. But there's some things that like I do that I still have like trouble like doing it, and like I try to seek discomfort and just face my fears,
Right.
but it's not always easy. Even though like I've done many other things, like it's still like a battle. So I wouldn't say like I completely learned from it yet,
Right.
but over time, I guess I kind of start to like callous my mind a little bit, and maybe like things do get a little bit easier. But there are some things that I haven't yet to like completely overcome. Like with heights is still something that haven't yet to overcome, and I've skydived, multiple times and everything. And even when I was in the Marines, like I would go rappelling and stuff, and climbing on the side of buildings, whatever. And every single time, like I'm just as scared. And there's times where I even like avoided and still like didn't do this thing. So like I still haven't like overcame it. I'm still like it's still a learning process for me. Just recently I did something. I was in Utah recently, and I'm flying my drone, and I get my drone stuck on my friend's roof, and he lives on a 2-story house. And the way the house the way it was built, like it was very like oddly constructed, and I was like, crap, well now we gotta get a ladder and everything. Well, since I was the one who got it stuck, I needed to be the one to go up and get the drone. And it was such a battle. Even though like it's just this 2-story house, I was so scared. Long story short, I chickened out. I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to get on the roof. And in the neighborhood that we're in, we ended up having to borrow this painter's ladder. There's some person painting the house, and that was close by. We borrowed his ladder, and he's over there watching me like use his ladder to get on the roof, and he's seeing me like struggle, and he's like, "Let me just get it for you." So he climbs up on the ladder and gets it. But I'm still learning. I'm still trying to battle some things, but it's a process. It's a process.
What's something like important you would tell other people trying to overcome their fears, like something to keep in mind? Because I would chicken out too.
Yeah, in that moment afterwards, I was beating myself up quite a lot, honestly. I hate getting to that point where like I'm defeated by something. Eventually, like
that 10-year-old.
Yeah, it just eventually just like I mean it's easier said than done, but some of the greatest things in life are on the other side of fear. So if you're able to just conquer it and just do it, it's crazy what's on the other side of it. And something as simple as just climbing on that ladder and getting on the roof, something so simple. There was some safety stuff that was scared of, which is why I didn't do it, because the ladder wasn't the most balanced, which is why I didn't do it, and I thought I was gonna fall. So I was honestly just scared that I was gonna get hurt. So maybe it was a good thing that I didn't do it, because I'm pretty clumsy and I probably would have fell. But just outside of that, just using that as an example of if everything would have just worked out, if I would have just did it, the mission would have been achieved and everything would have been good. But just the fact that like I got so scared and I just avoided the situation, I could have got the drone, but the fact that I chickened out, like I never achieved it. So if you just it's easy saying it, but if you just do it, just like Nike, just if you just do it.
I was thinking Shia LaBeouf.
Do it. But yeah, you just gotta just do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right. So last question on seeking discovery, Eric. Again, we can talk about PCC with Ben in a few minutes. The third question, your third question, Eric. How did you overcome fear by discomfort.
How to overcome fear with
Yes.
sickness, discomfort. Again, I kind of gone back to what we already had talked about. I still haven't conquered it, but what helps me with it it's honestly it's by like seeing other examples of other people doing it. A lot of the stuff I've done has been through inspiration of others. So whenever I feel like whenever I come across those times where I'm scared of doing something, I look at like I gain inspiration from other people who are like doing similar things, and then I'm able to utilize that to then conquer whatever this battle it is that I'm going through.
Right.
I guess like an example, I guess my first example would be like the military. My cousin had joined, and considering that like I had somebody I can look up to who's just like me, who's kind of like lived like the same experience that I had, seeing him do it, I'm like, okay, like I'm kind of scared to do this, whatever, but like seeing him do it kind of made my experience just a little bit easier, and I was able to then go and do my thing. But I gained inspiration from him, and then with all the other things I've done, I've normally gained inspiration from other people, and seeing them do it, it normally makes my experience a lot easier.
That's good. Yeah. And would you say like fear, like anxiety and fear, are very connected? Like in the sense that like you're fearing the unknown?
Yeah. For me, fear and anxiety, I don't know how I would separate it, because when I think about fear, a lot of times it is fear of the unknown. When it comes to anxiety, I feel like anxiety is fear of the known, fear of what
the outcome can be and stuff.
Yeah, what the things that do exist, and fear normally comes from things that I cannot see or whatever. But yeah,
I mean, for me, anxiety is more like almost the fear of that fear, like that it's that sensation you get when you're agonizing over what you're like over a potential thing, while fear is like more of a direct, like, all right, I'm afraid of heights, and I'm really anxious to get close to those heights.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're both really hard to actually overcome, but once you do, it's I just pretend I said something really profound there.
Like,
yeah.
So right now, do you by chance? I don't want to say it because he might listen to this. But there's this.
I don't know why you put me in that spot.
No, but there's this other student here, and I'm planning on surprising him with a skydiving trip, and I skydived a couple of times.
Exclusive.
Like I mentioned before.
Is it me?
And when I'm thinking about this trip, this skydiving trip that's gonna happen, it might happen in the summer, during the summer break. It might, but I have so much anxiety that's building up because of it. And I've skydived twice. I went for a third time, and the third time I did not jump, and I had too much anxiety that built up during that third time. And then when I was in a plane, I chickened out, and then eventually I just, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go again, hopefully jump, during this third time. But right now, like, I'm just thinking about it, like, it just, all that build up of that fear and that anxiety. But what are some of y'all's fears? Well, what's a fear of yours?
I'll go with
Michelle?
yourself first.
I'd rather be thrown into the ocean than being next to a dog.
Yeah? You don't like dogs?
They scare me so
Oh,
much.
come on.
Dang, what
I
about
don't know
Oreo?
why.
I have
I'm
a dog named
sorry.
Oreo.
I like
Oreo.
the picture of Oreo, but I don't know.
I
Not
like the
present.
concept.
It's one of my fears. I don't know why. I really can't explain it.
You never
Oreo.
had pets?
Be
I
careful.
did. I had dogs growing up, but I just suddenly can't stand next to a dog.
Huh. How are you, like, whenever, like, everybody has dogs in LA and everywhere you go, but how are you in public and people have their chihuahuas and
Okay, so
stuff?
for example, my store that I work in, dogs are welcomed.
Uh-huh.
And every time I see a dog, I go around the aisles, like all around.
Yeah?
Or I make like the biggest like turn back and I just leave. I can't do it. Is that weird? I feel like
I mean, everybody has their fears, but I mean, yeah, a little weird.
Yeah.
Maybe a Chihuahua. Oh no! If it's a pit,
I'm more scared of Chihuahuas.
I mean,
Chihuahuas are
they're bipolar.
They are actually terrifying dogs.
Well, what's your fear of yours, though?
My fear is I keep having nightmares because wherever I go to sleep, sometimes I get nightmares where, like, if I'm living a bad dream, if I'm having a bad dream, I get like, oh, wait, just happened. Oh, no, it's dream. Go back to sleep. And sometimes I would get like nightmares where, like, if someone's like try to attack me or approach me again, I get freaked out. I'll be like, someone protect me. Or sometimes I would get like a scary image where one time when I was sleeping, I was scared that there was like 3 cats next to my window. Again, I woke up. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many cats. I'm like, oh my God, cats, don't scare me. I tried to get to sleep here again. I don't know why the cats in my dream just came out over there, and then they were like making weird sounds. I'm like, oh my God, someone help me! These cats are scaring the gay rights on me. And I don't know why, but I think the nightmares is my fear, especially like try to go to sleep.
Imagine a nightmare, Michelle, where you're working at a veterinarian, and there's nothing but dogs everywhere. Michelle's nightmares are
that would be her
her
nightmares
working
tonight.
at the vet. What's the fear of yours, Ben?
Well, one I can think of right off the bat, don't laugh, I will cry, is cotton balls.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I actually have a phobia of cotton balls.
Oh
No
my
way,
God.
that's crazy because, Ben, we have cotton balls!
Oh, Ben, run!
I just throw my bottle through the window.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Well, what's the name of that phobia?
Side-on global
Huh.
Yeah, it's.
Is that triggered by something like what? That's very.
I have no idea. I've always been terrified of cotton balls, or just pieces of cotton, or just like even like cotton swat. It might just be the cotton I'm scared of, but cotton balls are like the most distilled form of cottonry that that I can encounter, and it's just I don't know. I go into fight or flight whenever I see them.
Yeah. Well, Ben,
One of my exes
today
actually used to throw them at me when she was angry at me.
Oh,
It
boy.
was awful.
today's actually a surprise show, Ben, because
don't do this to me.
Michelle, you want to bring the cotton balls in?
yeah, let me just go bring it in.
Yeah, we'll get
Don't do this to me.
throw your face, Ben.
Don't do this to me.
What
man.
were one of those shows like? There are some of those shows like back in the day, like from it wasn't like Jerry or whatever, but there was like those talk shows where
Murray?
TLC, but I think it was like TLC. There's some TV program that had like a series where it might have been Jerry or something like that, where they'll bring people in and they'll mess with them,
Right.
and
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
bring in like stuff that they're scared of. Some of those things I remember some of the episodes I saw where it's like this lady was scared of foil, and they came out with with just a bunch of foil, but like they wrapped themselves up as foil, so they came out as this, like foil man, and the lady just freaked out. And like,
I like how all of the ones that they try to mess with people with are ones that are really cheap to do.
mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm afraid of tin foil. There's I'm afraid of cotton balls.
This
Or,
would be a cheap.
oh,
episode.
I'm afraid of glasses or something. Yeah, you just get a guy with glasses to walk in, and they're like, oh Jesus.
Oh, Ben.
Oh,
Ben. He has a glass.
All right.
While you're in luck, Ben, look under your seat. You'll find something taped underneath your seat.
Come on, Ben. Come on, Ben.
That'd be so funny if it really
Yeah,
was.
all right. So what was taped under the seat was lies, and that's also something I'm afraid of. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you all. This has been a great episode. I'm leaving now.
All right, Ben. What's next have you? Now, oh my, this topic could be golf topics. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try to keep this podcast short.
Okay,
So
yeah,
Ben,
yeah.
so your next topic, PCC. Tell us why you chose PCC and what courses are you or were you taking here on campus?
Well, I chose PCC because my family has been in this area for quite a while now, and I've known the college quite a bit. It's where it's one of the first places I actually swam, like in the pool here. Like
Oh, no way.
when they let
Right.
kids from one of the local charter schools come in, and they were like, "Yeah, just swim
That's
free."
cool.
And it seemed a lot bigger than it was.
Yeah.
Than it is now. Yeah. I think that's just because I've gotten.
Tell me.
I've gotten it. Wow, thank you for putting it like that.
Oh,
David.
sorry, man. Sorry. I don't think you put your
No,
blast.
no, I didn't mean to tell you the truth, Ben. But as for choosing the TVR program, I've always had a pretty decent ear, especially with ears this big.
Right.
It's I'm a musician. I've been playing music for a long time, so
That's cool.
I figured if there was one program that I would want to go into, it would be one where I could either perform or help other people perform. And I saw the Intro to Audio class 2A, but offered by one
Jeffrey
of the
Gilmore.
No, it was one of the two Steves. I'll let you guess which one.
Steve's?
Yep, there are two Steves here. Yeah.
Hang on, man. I give up.
Yeah, it's Steve Dietrich. Yeah,
Dietrich.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you play?
I play right now. I mostly play like bass guitar. I play funk and jazz and.
That's cool.
Are you in a band or something?
Not right now. No. If you guys know one, just let me know. I won't.
Or we
join
can just
them.
start one.
Yeah, we can start right now on Gator's
It's
podcast.
going right now. It's yeah. Oh, I should have brought it. I could do my audition right now.
Yeah, you could.
And I used to, still kind of, but used to a lot more play classical viola. I learned at the conservatory here in Pasadena and played for like 10 years or so.
Wow.
The viola is not the same as a violin, right?
It's
It's
basically,
cousin.
this will offend the violinists on campus, but it's basically a better violin.
Oh.
It's a little bit bigger.
I
It's,
agree. I really agree with that.
Thank you.
Honestly.
Thank you.
So much better.
Violin sounds so anxious.
Yeah, it does. It gives you anxiety. But viola, music to my ears.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm
Thank
taking
you,
a music class outside of PCC
Oh, yeah?
with some program. And on Friday, I actually graduate for my guitar program.
Congrats, Eric.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Let's give a round of applause for Eric, everyone.
Yeah. I'm excited because once I graduate the program, they gift me, you get gifted a guitar.
Ooh.
And I don't necessarily have like an actual good guitar or anything like that.
That's
so
fair, yeah.
so I'm
Acoustic
excited.
or electric?
It's a hybrid.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so I'm excited.
Nice,
I still like haven't. I mean, there's still a lot I need to learn, but
Mhm.
on Friday I'll be finished, and then from there I can, start playing and doing some stuff.
And playing
Nice.
in bands with me specifically.
Yeah.
And so what styles do you play? Or, are there any that you're leaning towards?
I would like to learn my music taste is a little bit all over the place, but maybe like some jazz.
You like jazz?
A little bit, yes. Not a little bit, a lot of bit. And being from Texas, I would love to learn some, some country stuff, some folk stuff. So I just want to be able to just go around the campfire and just do a couple.
Just serenade
riffs.
the fire.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah, all right. So, Eric, now your last topic is 10 years with the military. And your fourth question is tell us your 10 years with the military.
So I wasn't. So nobody gets confused. So I wasn't in the military for 10 years. I was in for 5.5 years. But on June 1st, it was 10 years since I've joined. And for me, this past decade is something I, recently just, been reflecting on as I just approached this. And, I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas. And, having left home, and not gone back, it's been a little rough. But, past 10 years has been like a full decade of just like just seeking discomfort and just like facing my fears.
And so you came to California.
Yeah. But I mentioned on the last, I don't know if we had talked too much about it during the last podcast.
Yeah, it was going on 9 episode.
But yeah, like after I was done with the military, I was stationed in San Diego, and then afterwards I came up to LAist so I can pursue the entertainment industry and do acting and stuff. But you know, for me, like it's been a crazy journey, and I'm still like trying to figure out a lot of stuff. You know, it's one of my biggest identities that I have is, you know, identifying as a veteran. I try to contribute as much as I can to the veteran community, but most of my persona is made up of that identity. The way I carry myself now is based off of what I've done in the past. You know, a lot of what I did when I was in, I don't necessarily practice a lot of it now, because when I was in, I was an air winger, so I worked in aviation for the United States Marines, and you know, I don't necessarily do that now, but a lot of our core values and everything outside of that, I still try to carry that with me as much as I can. But it's been a whole 10 years since I left home. I'm in a place where I have like no family, no anything. You know, I would say no anything because I've established a friend group here at LAist, but I'm still in a place where like I don't have that kind of support, you know, because most of my support, you know, it's, you know, a phone call can still do a lot. Don't get me wrong, but you know, my support is, you know, is on a 6-inch screen, and there's only so much love you can get from a phone like that, from a form of support like that. But so like I'm just out here trying to figure stuff out, and hopefully I figure it out soon, because again, like I've been here at PCC for 3 years, and I'm not trying to be here. Yeah. I love PCC, but I'm not trying to be here forever.
But, I love PCC, just not that much.
So I'm still in this process of trying to figure this life thing out, because this last 10 years, it went by really quick. It has. Really quick. And I know this next 10 years is going to go by even faster.
It will.
So I'm just hoping, you know, as I reflect on these next 10 years, as this last 10 years has gone, I'm hoping this next 10 years is full of growth, where I'm able to conquer even more and seek discomfort even more. Because again, some of the best things in life are on the other side of fear.
Right.
So I'm hoping I get to do that, and I'm hoping I get to conquer that fear with heights. I don't know if I ever will, but I'm hoping I can at least continue to just fight it, and just do some cool stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And nice. I don't remember we asked you, but what made you leave like the Marines?
I was
too much water.
But for me, so I have like a little bit of a weird. I mean, it's not weird, but so I was kind of wanting to get out in the first place, but either way, like I was kind of forced out. So I was medically retired. I did 5.5 years, so obviously you can't retire that early, but I was put on a medical retirement. So when I was in, I got injured, while I was in, and I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease as well. So because of my condition and because of my injuries when I was in, they saw it as it being their fault to my condition at the time. So the military was like, okay, well, since we messed you up, and because of all these different things, this is going to be our little like.
We'll just keep this between us.
Yeah. So like here's this like little retirement thing they were going to give you, and just like hush money, basically. So essentially, I was forced out. At the time, I was kind of wanting to get out anyways, because when I was forced out, it happened right at the end of my contract. So as I'm getting ready to separate, you go through this medical evaluation before you separate, just so they can clear you medically, to make sure that they're not just sending out this messed up person into the real world. So they want to make sure, like, okay, let's make sure you're clear first, and then we'll send you out. so while they're doing their evaluation, they find out all my medical problems. Like, oh, actually, you can't leave just yet. And then so I'm going through the whole process, and they're like, okay, we're gonna have to, medically separate you.
Right.
But now that I've been out though, like, even though at the time I was kind of wanting to get out, I wish, besides this whole medical separation thing, I wish I would have stayed in if I was still given a choice, because I really do miss it a lot, honestly.
Right.
Like some of my friends are still in, and seeing the stuff that they're still doing and the deployments they're going on and stuff. I'm just like, I always struggle saying this word, but
Speech
camaraderie. Yeah, but there's the camaraderie, like in the Marines, just like any branch. But like in the Marines, like it's something else, and there's a lot of times that suck, when I was in, but there's also a lot of good times, and the memories that you build when you're doing those sucky things, those are some of the best memories I have. And that's what I miss the most. So I wish I would have stayed in if I even had that choice.
Right.
But I was forced out either way. And it kind of sucks. But at the same time, like me being forced out has kind of been a blessing in disguise, because it's opened up even more doors. So I can't complain.
Good.
Now, I remember back in the episode, speaking of medical, you told me, Mr. Okay, you had a leg injury. And how's Kenny? Or is still injured?
No, it's not necessarily that it's injured, so it's fine. I'm just like dealing with. I can do life just fine.
Right.
But considering like I compete and stuff, with the running and everything I've been doing, it's my form is still like off. My muscles still hasn't like adapted yet.
Were you limping for a long time? Caused your muscles to develop?
Yeah, and because of that, I've so like a couple of years ago, like I broke my right leg, long story short, I gained a limp because of that, and then at the end of last year, I messed up. I fractured my left leg, and then now I have a limp because of that. So I'm like double limp. Kind of. But just like going through that recovery process and everything, I lost muscle mass, and like my muscle just hasn't developed yet. And now that I'm getting back into training, I'm just keeping it simple terms. I'm just too weak, and as I'm trying to like do all my activity, and I'm just pushing myself too much for my body to handle. So my body's kind of just like hurting because of it. So your
body hasn't caught up to your mind.
No, so my body's like hurting, and my body's like, yo, like chill. So I'm just in that process of like just chilling.
Right.
So I'm not hurting.
That's good.
But I am healed. It's just
that's good.
It's similar for me actually. I both of my knees are completely messed up from all of the martial arts I did as a youngin' when I was about yay high.
Yay high, but now
yay high, but now now I'm about down here. But I, for the longest time, and with a torn meniscus, I wound up and not getting medical treatment in time to actually fix all of that stuff. I wound up having basically a permanent limp that completely messed up my body balance, and it wasn't until like a couple of years ago where I started actually making an effort and just trying to even everything out. Yeah. And it's because I also used to be like a bodybuilder as well.
Right.
And I tried to go back to the gym with that same kind of mentality, or like, all right, push myself harder every day, like just and do something even harder than yesterday, and then do something even harder tomorrow. And then I completely messed up my knees again.
Oh my God!
Like first day back, and I had to start from even further back.
Yeah, you get too excited because you know what you're capable of.
Yeah, and then you realize that it's what you were capable of, and not what you are capable of. Yeah. It's hard
physically
and mentally to really accept that you're not where you used to be, and you have to catch back up.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm definitely not where I used to be, and it's a little humbling, and I just got to just recognize where I'm at, and not where I was. Otherwise, you just make things worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because even though you feel this way, like I look at you and I'm like, wow, that's very motivating. Like I want to go run a mile or something.
You see, that's the problem.
Yeah, like you want to go do something, but
Like
I mean, one step at a time for sure.
Yeah, because I have a lot of things coming up, and even with the stuff I'm doing, I'm still doing a lot. I'm just struggling a lot, during the process of doing it. Like I went out on a run. What was my most recent run? Just like a couple of days ago. And it was only a few miles, and I'm used to now so I'm supposed to be. I was planning on doing this race in July, and considering the run I just did recently, I was like, I don't know how in the heck I'm gonna get ready for this race in time, because I was like, I just only ran 5 miles, and at the end of those 5 miles, I was like hurting. Wow. I'm like, damn, I'm so used to running ultra races and doing all this stuff, but yeah, I'm struggling to run 5 miles on a flat course.
Wow.
And so I'm like, geez, I have a long way to go. And so I don't think I'm going to do that race anymore, but I'm trying. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
When, this isn't advice, but this is something that I've realized is that it's a lot easier to build up that strength again when you're actually running out in a nature path or on hiking paths, because the ground's softer and it's more uneven, so you're actually getting more of a workout, and in my case, getting more shin splints.
And that's not fun either.
No.
There are many benefits to being over 200 pounds. That's unfortunately one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's great. I love it. My calves look fantastic though.
If I can borrow some, I need some, because I got chicken legs.
All right, man. Make sure you borrow after the podcast.
Yeah, we can trade for a bit.
That's right. All right, so now, Ben, back to now that we spoke about your Canadian story, PCC, I want to talk to you a little bit about your LAist, because you told me this story when we had a conversation that you're the intern at LAist. Am I correct?
Yeah. I'm currently interning at LAist in the operations department.
That's cool.
Training to be a board operator. It's been really great. Yeah. It's I'll admit it's a bit different from the other work environments I've been in before, because the last couple have been pretty informal. The last one was a Tim Hortons, and before that was a cattle farm out in the middle of I'm not going to say the name of the town, but nowhere. And I'm not used to not being able to swear, both in the podcast and at work.
Right.
It's not used to wearing a button up, and not used to being what's the word, cordial.
Yeah, cordial.
And being a decent professional person instead of just reaching up a cow's ass and trying to pull out a calf. It's and I'm not even joking about that. That's actually something I used to have to do. And honestly, it's been a really great experience being able to work with people in that capacity, and both creative and just interpersonal. Those creative and interpersonal dynamics are really refreshing for me. And I'm really enjoying my time there.
We went on a field trip.
We did, me and Michelle.
All of us did. Yeah, we went.
The Green Musketeers.
To the LAist, and it was a cool spot. Yeah, it seemed like a fun place to be working at.
It really is. Yeah.
And what sparked your interest in board hopping?
The trip I took to LAist.
Oh, cool.
Oh, no way.
I took TVR two-way, the intro to audio, with Jeff Dunbar, and we went on
that's really cool. The fact that you took that field trip in his class, and then now you're working. And
he's actually the one that put in the recommendation for me.
He knows you're working there now.
Yeah. He's the one that was like,
that's so
cool.
Cool.
Just put in an application, say I recommended you, and I was like, Sweet.
It's a nice plug.
Cool. Thank you, Jeffy.
Jeffrey Gilmore. Shout to him.
Jeffy, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to hug you.
He will hug you after this podcast. All right.
He's waiting outside.
Yeah, he is.
Arms open.
Yeah, arms open. But he's teaching a class right now as we record this podcast. All right. Going back to you, Eric, your last question is, what's next for you with the military?
No, so again, I'm done with the military, so I can't technically be serving. But as far as like this identity I have with the veteran community, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do formally. Like I try to stay involved as much as I can. One of the ways that like you can easily contribute to the veteran community is through these two organizations. I mean, there's a lot of organizations out there, but two of the main ones is the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars is one of them, and then the American Legion. So I try to stay involved with those two organizations. There's a lot of stuff that they do for the community, so that's kind of my way of giving back. But within this platform that I have within like my it's not like I'm a professional athlete or anything like that, but like I try to but the organizations that I'm competing through, I try to utilize like those platforms to like kind of promote those organizations. So that's another way I try to contribute, as well as through like fitness and just volunteering. But outside of that, that's kind of my ways of doing things at the moment. So the next thing I will be doing though for that, I think it'll probably be my race in November. I'll be representing the Veterans of Foreign Wars for that race. So that'll be the next thing I'll probably do.
So that's exclusive you will hear on Gary's podcast. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Michelle.
And I want to know, like, what's some advice you'd give to someone who's entering, like, the Marines or any branch?
Try to volunteer as much as you can. So as I guess, like, well, that's advice for when you're in. But I guess for like before, I guess when it comes to like
get in shape.
Get in shape.
So I have a ways to go before.
But when it comes to like beforehand, before even joining, when you're thinking about joining, when you're going through that process, eventually, whether if you're gonna just do one contract or you're gonna try to retire and be a lifer, eventually you're gonna get out. So whatever route you plan on choosing, eventually you're gonna get out. And I always suggest try to do a job that's gonna transfer. When you get out, a lot of people get into these jobs that don't really do nothing in the real world. So when you get out, you have this background in, working with missiles and tanks. But what are you going to do when you get into the real world? And you have and you have on your resume like that you worked with tanks and missiles and all these other things. You can't really do much. So I guess depending what your reasons are for joining, if you really want to serve and do certain things, then go do that thing. But just try to have in the back of your mind when you're getting ready to join the military that you're getting into a job that's going to transfer out, so you have that experience that you can actually apply and get credit for, and do something when you get out. So
nice.
Good.
And I have a question for you as well.
Go ahead, man.
What advice do you have for people that are trying to, like, let's say, start running, or like just start not just taking care of themselves, but starting to push themselves towards who they want to be?
Yeah. So the easiest thing I've found, so like I've gotten asked this question before for people who are just getting into this, and the easiest thing is finding a community or finding someone else who's going through that same journey. It's hard to like kind of just get the ball rolling on your own. I've mentioned before, like a lot of the ways I've conquered fear was by getting inspiration from others, and and it comes, and then it's the same thing when it comes to like this journey when it comes to running. And the easiest thing is like joining a club. joining a little running club, and a lot of people are scared to even join run clubs for some reason, because I've mentioned joining run clubs to some people, and some people kind of have the initial thought that run clubs are competitive and just serious, but run clubs are not there are some run clubs that are competitive, but a lot of them are not, and it's just like a social thing. So when you're in that process of trying to get into running and just being active, run clubs are always like the best route to go, because there's so many people, who are all like on these different journeys and paths, and when you see these people doing what they're doing, and you're just like, wow, like, what's my excuse? You just see these people just getting after it, and whatever it is, if you're scared or you just don't know what to do, these run clubs, they have the days that they run, so you have like a schedule already that's already written out for you, because this run club runs every Tuesday. So like, even if it's hard to get out there and pick what days you want to run, this run club runs on Tuesdays, this other club runs on Wednesdays, so you already have a schedule that's already laid out. So just go out to that run club and just go socialize and do your thing, and that's always just like the easiest way to do it, because then you're not doing it alone. You have a community to do it with.
You have some accountability with that. It's a really great idea.
Does Pasadena have a run club?
Yeah, so there's so many run clubs. I didn't realize how much there is. So I can't remember on top of my head which run clubs are in Pasadena, but there is a few. So for y'all, or for anybody who's going to be listening, always plug in people who are trying to get into run clubs into this one page called The Running Connoisseur on Instagram. The Running Connoisseur is this lady who just runs her page, and it's just her own personal page. And what she does, she posts all the run clubs in LA that are running on each day of the week. So every Monday, she's gonna post, or she's gonna post what run clubs are running on that Monday, and she'll post like the location, the times that they're gonna be running at, and she'll put like the link to their page. So like, when you go on her page, you can see, you click on her Instagram stories, and she'll post what run clubs are running. What's so funny?
I'm just thinking like, wow, I'm gonna do this.
I just see you smiling, but I guess it's a good smile. But like the Running Connoisseur, like, you go on her page and she'll post all the different run clubs that are gonna be running for each day of the week. So if you're trying to find a run club, go on her page and you'll find what run clubs are out there. So for Pasadena, if you go on her page, you'll definitely see what run clubs are gonna be running in Pasadena. So I'll suggest
Michelle will follow that club on Instagram.
I'll update you in 6 months.
All right, so Eric and Ben, I want to thank you for being my first two guests. I'm not going to say my first two guests. I want to thank you
Your
for
first
being
half-price guests?
Yeah, my first half-price guest, yes. Thank you, Ben. I'll charge you $100 for that. I'm kidding. I want to thank you for being my guest on LAist podcast, especially our 15th episode. Am I correct, Michelle?
Yes, 15.
And at the same time, and I also want to thank you, Michelle, and also job as my co-host as always.
Thank you, David.
And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching. Yes, Facebook, Eric. Facebook, don't touch me.
There we go.
All
right, that was my stretching for the day.
I'm not going to say, you remind me of how he made out when he got you like to touch no one.
See, I thought it was how I was balding.
All right. So, everyone, I want to thank you for watching and listening to this podcast. And especially salute to Eric for his service. and we hope that we see you next week for the season finale of season 2. I think the 16th episode. And take care and goodbye, everyone.
Good luck on your finals.
Good luck on your finals. Thanks for having us, David, Michelle.
Anytime.
Thank you.
This has been great.
This was fun.
Yes.
No.